Testing, testing. All right. So, hey, I am here again, and I'm tired. And you know why I'm tired? It leads into what today's video subject is about. You get tired when you do a lot of mental work, you know, and for these esoteric things, these twin flame things, I found that I don't even know if I could say that they're like high points, you know. I was gonna say you go through these like high points, like these points of like intense energy, but I tend to think that it's related to when blocks are cleared and you can hear things more clearly and effectively. Things from God, things from prayers, recognizing things that you may watch in programming, all that kind of stuff. My head looks very little or too round without my braid. My braid gets heavy, so it's a dilemma. This is my summer hair, by the way, because it is too hot to wear my hair down a lot, and then when I'm at home I just get caught on things. So that's the disclaimer. Another disclaimer is that I did paint my nails, but it wound up chipping off in like, I don't know, a day. So then I wound up just taking it off. So, and I forgot to put eye makeup on, so that's just that. So whatever. I guess this is what happens, and I'm going to get to the point of the video, which is purging blocks, purging soul ties that are unnecessary, doing anything you can by almost any means necessary to clear your aura, to clear your chakras, at least to ground them and to get them like cool, you know. Like, I don't know if anything is ever really 100%, but at least you can get it cool, you know. And by that, you know, seeking the info first leads to the info being presented to you. I have noticed that, you know, relatively recently, one way to start, first point, is past life regressions. I had a friend, kind of a friend, he was a friend of a friend, and him and his daughter came in town, and he did a past life regression. And first time that we met, cool, and you know, from that past life, you know, I was asked to kind of form the session around being of a particular question that I had. And so from there, I was like, how am I going to find out about more past lives without more past life sessions with people, you know? Because this person, we've been acquainted for a few years, and the girl that we're both friends with, she and I knew each other for some years. So going online, that could be cool, but it's not really my thing. I think I prefer an acquaintanceship or being an acquaintance at least, or friend or something like that. So I was really interested in other past lives, and I had lots of inklings about things leading up to this session, and I just wanted to know more because there was so much to know. Not this style, of like asking a question about this life and then having it turn out to reflect the past life that came up in the session. The way that I would see my past lives and find out about them would be through meditation and guided meditations, and sometimes like maybe not totally self, because I know that my twin was involved, but there are these sessions where there's dialogue, and I'll just start having like a flood of information. Some people call these things downloads. So maybe that's what they mean. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's different for everybody. But that's my second point and I'm not going to be able to keep up with these numbers, I'll tell you. And just right now, I can't do the whole number thing. I'm not working off of notes right now. I'm just kind of coming off the dome because I think I'll remember, but I kind of know where I want to go with things. But so meditation is another way that I found, listening to binaural beats on YouTube, certain frequencies for certain things, whether it be like a love chakra or clearing, negative energy or becoming in tune, and they have different frequencies. So 432 and like I think 536 and then 7 something, and goes into the thousands, and I think down the other way, and I like those things. I will make a disclaimer that some of them have, maybe all of them, but at least some of them have like subliminal messages in them. Like in one I heard, it's gonna be all right, and it wasn't me. I was like, okay, that some person put this in. My assumption is that some person put that in their recording, which could be cool. Maybe I'm wrong, but I heard what I heard, and like that's just something to consider. Another thing to consider is that frequencies affect humans like very much, and big media and big tech have certain frequencies in their platforms and their products. Like TVs carry a certain frequency when they're delivering information, and to me that seems to be doable. Platforms like YouTube, especially when you get into the commercials and things like that, you're running into a different kind of frequency, and you just need to kind of keep that in mind when you're watching. I personally like to pray and use incense whenever I have a feeling that there's just some bad energy coming through the screen, like sometimes you're forced to see things and people that you didn't really sign up to see, but since it's a platform owned by someone else, they can put whatever commercials and images and videos that they want to on something. And that all gets really deeply embedded into your mind, which in turn can make to be or turn into a block, a mini block sometimes, or maybe you can call it that, but a mini block. Like, and what I mean by that is that it's like, you ever hear the term like, I can't unsee that, so imagine like you see something on the screen and you're deep in meditation or a conversation that's going well or something like that, and then something triggers you to think about something that leads to a thought of something that you couldn't unsee. And then your thought could be lost, or maybe you just get a little sidetracked for a little bit. And, bigger blocks can be programming from parents. Things that affect your confidence, the way that you see yourself. It can give you body dysmorphia, insecurities, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and it could be that it's because of blocks that they're carrying from their youth. And it could be things that they intentionally do to you, or it could be things that they didn't even know that they're doing. Most cases, I think, are all of the above. So to clear those blocks, the binaural beats help. Going into it with the intention of clearing things is a good way to start. Like, I'll often pray that blocks are cleared. I'll try to cleanse myself with the smoke from incense. And you'll notice, like, some native tribes doing these things. Other cultures do these things. I will clear my house with the smoke from incense. I've had stones suggested to me. I've used stones, but other ones that were suggested to me will be the ones I purchase next and use next. Bibles. I keep not too many Bibles around my house, like the cat lady, but like the Bible person. Like, whoa, I don't have any like crucifixes on my walls or anything like that, but I do keep a Bible, keep a few Bibles out, and sometimes I use salt when I vacuum, and sometimes around my door and my windows. That was a suggestion by another person. I've also heard that getting into nature really helps, and walking barefoot on grass and the earth is like awesome, I don't have the opportunity to do that because of my environment. Like, I don't have a park nearby, and there's no grass near to where I live, at least not grass that I could put my bare feet onto. But what I do is I touch plants, like trees and leaves and things like that. And I've found that also looking at them really helps. And what I do is I, just go into it with the intention, whether I say it in my head or verbally, like, to please, like, clear my aura, to ground me, to ground my chakras, to clear them, to clear negative energies, to help me be positive. That's another practice that I use, another technique. Because, like, back to the past life thing, that can be really intense, because it doesn't affect you. At least it hasn't affected me. It hasn't affected me the way that I would have thought. It's like I have my knowledge and I have my ideas about past lives. And what I mean by that is, knowledge is like knowing something. I just know that, not even I can fool myself into like not believing myself with that. And then there's other inklings, you get like, that seems familiar. And I think that might have happened, but you haven't gotten that thing that really just makes it hit home, like, yep, that's it. And I think I've covered that before. It's like pretty much almost any inkling that you have, I believe, is a truth, and especially if you are familiar with the way that it comes to you, that it's like some place that you visited before. But then there's, things that come like that are just massive, like dense waves of information that it's like, that is just that. And so, but back to what I was getting to before I lose my thought, it's like the way that you think that a past life is affecting you now could be true. But then what I've found is that you find these other ways that you didn't even know, like you didn't even think about, like the way that you eat food, which foods you prefer. Like those are the which foods you prefer is kind of like a general one, but how you eat and why you eat a certain way, and why certain times of the day, like you'll have like a habit or a preference that's very, very strong, and you'll find that it's related to a certain past life for a reason that just seems like something you would never guess. And then I rethink it, and I rethink all the thoughts that are related in their entirety. And oftentimes I'll come to this moment of like, that makes perfect sense, like that's it, and it becomes undeniable, because I'll try to put my kind of scientific logic to it. It's kind of like science, it's kind of like law, but it's more like an educated observation, kind of like the educated guess, but educated observation. Like, are all these points covered? Am I just preferring that it be this way? Am I choosing to leave anything out? And I add up everything very quickly that I have mental access to, like every answer that I feel as if I've been shown or received or know, and I'll see the way that they link, and then a lot of times it's just like, yep. So in relation to your twin, I found that when these blocks are cleared, there's a deeper understanding that you guys immediately gain about one another. Like, one person, like I'll give the example, like myself, like I'll have a realization that he learned something new about me, or I'll have a realization that there was something that I thought that he knew, and I knew that he knew, but then something will trigger me to realize, like, that thought just became real, like that dense thought that I mentioned, or it'll have flowered out, like there was more that he learned, or it could be like, this is something I'm still young grasshopper about, is that, did you know about this in a dream? Did I know about this in a dream? Is this like this back thought that I had, but it's become real now? Because sometimes there'll be a notion that it was something that was known, but that concrete knowledge, that concrete I know, quote unquote, it comes in varying degrees, and it comes in varying styles, because that's the complexity of the human mind, thoughts in general, this whole thing, it's all very complex. Like if you want to talk about something relatively simple, it can be anything, we can talk about this webcam, like cameras have been around for a while, and webcams have been around for a while, and color pictures have been around for a while. That within itself is enough to work on for years, to dissect like every element that's concerned with any of those things. But then you get into how this webcam was manufactured, the little green light to let me know that it's on, the red light that's corresponding on my laptop. The light that's on my laptop is actually not a light. Pixels with a backlight, or whatever LCD is, like that whole situation. That's a whole different thing. But the light on the webcam is actually more in the category of being a light. And then you have a lens, and then you have cords, and then you have the different companies. And that's exactly how situations in a person's life are. That's exactly how each person's thought is. And then you have the way that two people learn about each other and their environment and things that are quantum. And then you get deeper into past lives, where they live, where do they come from. Then you get into like the outer realms of the galaxy, and then you get into the higher constellations, and then you get into neighboring galaxies, and then you get into black holes and all that energy, because that all is right here. That's Earth. And I don't mean Earth like that, but what I mean is that those things are this realm. All those quantum things in the black hole and things that can't be measured, and the edge of the galaxy, which can't be photographed. We humans, we tend to think, oh, we got the pictures, it's going out pretty far. And we all know that demonstration of basically the Earth being a dot of a molecule in a room like, as big as the one I'm in, full of molecules, like times whatever you want to times it by 1,000, it gets wild. And all the stars and all the quasars and all that, that's all of this realm. So you have all those things and all those perceptions that go along with each person. Well, a lot of people, some people at the very least, and then others have their existences here. But then you take almost all of us back to the spiritual realm, and that's a whole different thing. So you have that kind of consideration for like every move that you guys make, and it's so like, I want to say almost impossible to like, it's possible to imagine, but me personally, I like to know everything, I feel like there's a way to know everything about, at least, something about a situation. But myself mainly included, I have to realize that there's so many things that are unseen and that I won't be able to know, and I just have to be cool. So back to how to be cool is grounding your chakras and concentrating on each one and learning about each one, and what you can do to help out. And another really important point is that these things make you tired. That's how I began the video. Like all this mental work and clearing blocks and learning about blocks, like it'll send you straight to being asleep. You know, like even when I feel like I read somewhere, like if you meditate and you fall asleep, this is a while ago, you know, like when I first started like meditating a bit. This was years ago, right? And I read that if you fall asleep during meditation, that means that you're just tired. Dude, I'll sleep and meditate. Well, I'll meditate and then sleep, or sleep and then wake up and meditate and still feel like I haven't been to sleep. Coffee doesn't help. Coffee just gives me anxiety, but it's delicious, so I drink it. But it's not really keeping me awake. It'll keep me awake at night. Like it'll prevent me from going to sleep at night. But as far as like waking me up in the morning and giving me like pep, oh, I'm ready to go, I don't get that from coffee. At least not during these times of like massive amounts of learning about my twin. You know, intuitive sessions with other people who are like-minded, especially like, you know, during group conversations, even if they're relatively short, a lot of powerful minds, or other minds that are powerful, and you're just along for the ride, you know, young grasshoppers just trying to, you know, keep up or help or whatever. It'll send you into like a deep state of mental fatigue, and that leads me into reiterating the point of please take care of yourself, like eat well and remember when to rest. Like I feel crazy cray in this bitch saying that, because I'm the first one that will forget all of this. Like I'll be running to the ground, I'll wake up and try to get right back to work, and it'll be like every intuition, God tapping me, my twin saying, hey, you know, me just knowing, being pissed off, like, I don't want to eat, don't want to drink, don't want to cook, I'm pissed, I gotta work. And it'll, I'm like a baby throwing like a big tantrum, like I'm a big 37-year-old baby, hands down. Like I have to kind of be told, like, go lay yourself down somewhere, go play a game, go read a book, go be cool somewhere. There's only so much work you can do. And, you know, even with meditation, like, sometimes I'm like, okay, let's get back to this. And it'll be like, dude, it's quiet. Just keep it quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, nothing. Just don't even think. And even during those times, you probably get some information, but it's like the rest. And what I found is that during the times of rest, you get a whole bunch more of a different kind of information. Or maybe it's not a different kind of information. Maybe it's just like the information that you were supposed to get. I had one of those times this afternoon. You know, it's like I was finishing up a project and sent that file off. So then it was just like, felt God telling me like, hey, let's just chill together, you know. So I read my Bible, laid down a bit, and then it was just like, okay, it's time to like marinate and just do nothing, you know, for an hour. I had like about an hour before I needed to like get back to everything. And, you know, during that hour, it was just like, it was just like, it was a very godly thing too. It was not like the kind of stuff that comes during meditation. I think that was the difference. It was time with God, which led to godly things, not of my own design. No, like I have to struggle for godly things, you know, sometimes, because let's just say I have to struggle with these things sometimes, because I guess, I don't know what you call it. I guess me being human, or me having considerations about things that are just my own, to a degree that sometimes it can be considered a little hardcore, a little cold. But I'm, thank God, learning about family and forgiveness and love through my twin, because he reflects God to me. Yeah, I have a hard time, just God to me, it seems like it's out of my reach. But my twin, what I found is that he, through example, shows me, and I'm like, oh, that's how it is, because a lot of these things, honestly, I just haven't seen before. And to see it, like, on me, or whatever situation that we're in, it's like an immediate lesson, an immediate class, because, like, boom, it'll be like, whoa, that exists. He puts these things into existence, things that I'm reading the Bible for and praying for, which are all working and good. But, excuse me, when he, I guess, leads by example, it has a huge impact on me that helps me be able to apply these same kind of loving techniques in my life, even into myself. Forgiving myself and being nice to myself and taking care of myself, and because I'll just stop there, because I'll start rambling, and I think we're at a good time. I'll be back, I think, soon with another video, but I just wanted to share this and all these recentnesses. You like my made-up words? Yeah, so I will talk to you soon, and I'll talk to you the next time. Bye.